Tonight on your 5 News at 10, our red weather alert day coverage continues. The most snowfall of the season falling today in northwest Arkansas and the River Valley. Falling temperatures as well expected to make road conditions overnight very dangerous for everybody.
Here's a live look right now in Rogers over Pinnacle Hills, where RDOT says conditions are slick tonight, including highways across the region.
Yeah, right now it seems like the storm is heading out, but I'll give you a recap of tonight and what some students can look forward to tomorrow.
Thanks for joining us for your 5 News at 10. I'm Darren Bobb.
And I'm Erica Thomas. This time last night, this storm was just moving through. Tonight, it appears that we're on the back end of things. Let's check in with Matt as we push ahead to your Friday morning.
We are finally winding things down, but like you guys have been just talking about, the roads are still slick because we're refreezing some of those roadways that we tried to melt a little bit with just the tire tracks. We're not melting it because the temperatures, they continue to fall. We're in the teens area wide and some low 20s, but just talking about the snow, sleet and ice amounts, Cave Springs, Springdale, we hit the #1 spot for some of that snow, over 10 inches of snow. Johnson just over 9, Prairie Creek 9, Bentonville 7. Fayetteville was closer to about 6 to 7 as well. In the River Valley, we had a little bit less. However, we got a lot of sleet. And I tell you what, sleet doesn't accumulate like snow does. Sleet's kind of like sand. You put sand on the ground, it's going to be hard to see. You put snow on the ground, it'll just stick. You'll see it. So the sleet amounts are a little bit lower, but we've got 3 to 4 inches for parts of Sequoia County. Clarksville got 3 inches, but that's including the ice, sleet, and then the snow on top. Van Buren and Fort Smith right around an inch or so. Here's another way to look at it. A little bit less in the River Valley, where we picked up more of that sleet. A lot more in Northwest. However, we're still not done. We're done with the heavy stuff. That continues to push eastbound. But you see right now we've got some scattered flurries across Arkansas and Oklahoma, and even if you don't see them right over your neighborhood, there's some snowflakes flying around this evening. Nothing major, but we could get just a tracing or a dust every once in a while as the snow continues to push in. Picking up a little bit for us in Sequoia County, just west of Sallisaw towards Vian and Weber's Falls, and then this band is going to be headed right over Lake Tenkiller and into northwest Arkansas here very shortly. Right now, we've got a lot of clouds and a few flurries. We'll continue to track the snow. We'll also talk about how cold we're going to get and when we'll warm up to finally melt some of these roadways. That's all coming up.
Thanks. As the winter storms are preparing to make their exit, we're left with several inches of snow and ice, as Matt just mentioned. Road crews working around the clock and schools pivoting to virtual learning, some canceling classes altogether. 5 News reporter Michael Wilson joins us live in Fayetteville with a recap of tonight and a look ahead at tomorrow. Micah?
Erica, right now it looks like the snow is coming to an end. So the next questions are, as temperatures continue to drop, what are the roads looking like? So driving across northwest Arkansas and Fayetteville, they're dealing with this light, fluffy snow. And look, I can move it out the way. There's not ice under it, but in the River Valley, we know they're dealing with those icy roads in some areas, some slick spots. So crews are really working to treat it all and make sure that they're good for tomorrow. Around the city of Fort Smith, crews have been working 12-hour shifts, clearing icy roads.
They're out plowing, salting, and sanding, and will continue to do so until our roads are clear and safe to drive on.
Up in Fayetteville, the roads are covered with snow. We've seen neighbors helping neighbors with a truck pulling a semi up College Avenue after it got stuck this evening.
Right now, we're just doing a lot of plowing and hitting it with brine, trying to melt it off.
Crews are working around the clock to keep the roads clear, focusing on primary roads, hoping no one gets stuck. But if they do, you can rely on the help from the National Guard.
We've just been patrolling, trying to keep everybody safe, making sure everybody's going nice and slow.
Troops are spread across northwest Arkansas and the River Valley, assisting state police.
Mark, get set, go.
But this weather hasn't been all bad. In the River Valley, people are taking advantage of the snow.
Been sledding and snowball fighting, and it's really, really fun.
The same goes for northwest Arkansas. U of A students spent the night sledding.
Such a blast. We're going to have 3 days off of school. It's awesome.
They're not the only ones. Fayetteville among a handful of districts canceling classes.
We can have a snow day on Friday, February 4th. Now, of course, with the snow day, that's always the trade-off. You have to make up that day.
Due to an Arkansas requirement of 178 days of instruction, Fayetteville will add a day to the end of the semester, now set for May 27th. But for kids of all ages, they're just enjoying this break.
You guys are the best. We'll pick Suey.
Now, if you guys are avid 5 News watchers, are you following me on social media? You may remember when I fell on live TV, so I had to redeem myself. That was me actually sledding today, so 2 thumbs up to me, kudos. But while it is snowing and while you're enjoying it, be sure to enjoy it at your home. We know that our road crews are working around the clock. Everyone from mechanics to the people actually out there plowing to the people mixing those brine and salt mixes. Want to be mindful of them and make sure that you're staying home like they're asking you to do. We're live here in Fayetteville, covering news where you live. Mike Olson, 5 News.
All right, Micah, thanks. Now, here's another look at that semi Micah just told you about, having trouble getting up the hill today on College Avenue and Zion Road. This is near the Northwest Arkansas Mall in Fayetteville.
Yeah, eventually had to back down the hill, as you see there. And on the left side of your screen, you can see somebody with a 4-wheel drive seen helping the guy pull this semi-truck up the hill. Here he comes up the hill now. He will eventually, with the help of the driver of that 4-wheeler, I think it was a dually, yeah, big old dually pickup truck there, makes it through the intersection of College and Mount Zion Road. That was an ordeal that lasted about 15 or 20 minutes, and there for a while you didn't think that was going to
Yeah, and we caught this all live on your
yeah.
5 News at 6. So if you were watching a few hours ago, you saw this all unfold. Thankfully, it all had a good ending.
Yeah, no accidents involved with that. The guy didn't hit anybody. The cars got out of the way. He got on his way. It was an amazing story. Now, situations like this causing problems for truck drivers all across the state. This was the scene on I-44, I-440 today in Little Rock. Semi-truck losing control on the slick roads, runs over the retaining wall there. The cab hanging several hundred feet in the air for a bunch. This is the ramp from I-30 to I-440 there in Little Rock. State police tell us truck lost traction, then jackknifed, running over the retaining wall. Truck was leaking oil and diesel fuel, so Little Rock Fire and Hazmat assisted in cleaning up the area. That 18-wheeler was eventually removed with a very large tow truck. All day long, RDOT has been reporting a lot of jackknife semis because of slick roads. Mercedes McKay with our Little Rock station spent the day on Central Arkansas's major highways. Spoke to one truck driver who told her he decided to wait this all out.
A lot of people take chances. I'm not the type that takes chances. I believe that safety comes first, always, not the load, the safety.
Anthony Spencer knows the essential role he plays as a truck driver.
We just got to do what we got to do, man. You got to run the country, so you just got to do what you got to do.
But when icy roads come in his way, he sticks to one motto.
It's safety first, and no one's going to complain about safety first. Not the DOT, not the FMCSA, not your broker, not the customers. It's safety first.
Spencer hauls about 8,000 pounds worth of ATVs, which is why with the mix of snow and wind, he didn't think getting on the road was worth it.
It's not us that we're worried about. We're professionals. We have CDLs. We know how to drive. It's the people around us that weren't taught how to drive near a truck.
Some truck drivers that chose to weather the storm drove into some scary situations Thursday, like this driver who was driving along I-40 and slid off the side of the road.
At times, drivers are going to have to need to take the right actions, and they need to determine that when to keep on driving or not drive, and go ahead and hold up until it's safe to drive.
Knowing when to stop and when to keep going is something Mike Bruce with the Arkansas Trucking Association says is usually up to the driver. Some took advantage of that on Thursday for a little bit, and Bruce says customers could potentially see the impact.
It could have a ripple effect in the supply chain, but hopefully once the weather clears, it'll smooth out again.
Whether it's groceries or fuel, Bruce says drivers are working as hard as they can to get you what you need.
They're doing their best. Please be patient with them. This type of it can be stressful out there and a lot going on trying to work in this type of environment.
That was Mercedes McKay reporting now. This live look now at iDrive Cam that looks over the Arkansas River on I-540 in Fort Smith, looking into Van Buren. RDOT there reporting patches of ice all across the bridge. Again, River Valley got a little bit more ice cover than snow than in Northwest Arkansas. Falling temperatures overnight are going to make bridges and overpasses especially dangerous. You can get up to the minute road conditions again from RDOT by visiting idrivearkansas.com.
The slick roads and frigid temperatures have forced many to stay inside today, so Fort Smith police were out delivering food to people who were snowed in. Officers took the community relations Jeep, loaded it up with non-perishable items, and delivered them to those who can't leave their homes when winter weather hits. Police partnered with Evangel Temple and Antioch for Youth and Family to identify those in need.
They're thankful they don't have to get out. In some of the situations, you know, they need food. They don't have anything. So we're able to deliver that and make that happen for them today.
Police are going to reevaluate the amount of items they have left to hand out and continue delivering during this storm. And they say if you're in need, to message the Facebook page and they can put you on their list. Well, all throughout this winter storm, we've been asking you to send in your photos. How adorable is that? Showing us the view where you live. Even the youngest among us love to enjoy this fresh white powder. And here are just some of the sweetest kiddos we got the pictures of today. I mean, they are the cutest. It may be freezing outside, but these images will make your heart melt. I haven't seen my kids for a little bit. Oh, I just love seeing any kids. Look at those smiles.
Yeah,
they're so cute.
Kidding. We need to get
this
our
is his first snow.
We need to get
How
our
adorable.
grandson out there this weekend and try that out. That
Get
is
some
so
new photos.
cool.
I love it.
All right, don't forget you can send us your photos, texting us at 479-785-5000 or by uploading them to the Near Me feature on the free 5 News app. All right, the big winter storm impacting states all across the country. It stretches some 2,300 miles all the way from Texas up to Maine. We'll have more on how the states are dealing with these winter conditions coming up.
Just a heads up, tonight your phone may buzz a little bit because the National Weather Service is reissuing some of these warnings and taking some down, downgrading advisories. So we'll talk about what's going on with the alerts for the rest of the night. We'll also let you know how much more snow you may get and when we finally will get rid of the snow. That's coming up.
We've been showing you a lot of the RDOT cams all around the area in the northwest Arkansas and the River Valley. This is along I-40 now. They're at the Alma exit. Not a lot of traffic out there. You can see a couple of the lanes that are opened up, or at least some tire tracks on I-40. They're not going to be safe, that's for sure, because of the whatever has melted with the tires, with traffic over it, is now going to refreeze overnight along Interstate 40. We've been seeing a lot of that, though, pretty much all over the area. Whatever melted today, if any at all, has started to refreeze back up again. So, all right, this winter storm system making a big impact all across the country.
It stretches some 2,300 miles from Texas to Maine, impacting more than a third of the U.S. Chris Van Cleve has more from Dallas, where ice and frigid temperatures there are causing a host of problems, including flight delays across the country.
As the winter storm plowed into Texas,
I've never seen snowflakes this big in Texas, so it's pretty amazing.
Icy power lines and fallen tree limbs knocked out electricity to thousands.
We are dealing with one of the most significant icing events that we've had in the state of Texas in at least several decades.
Freezing snow made driving treacherous across much of the state.
It's extremely slick. Yeah, the highways are not very well traveled right now.
Thousands of flights across the Midwest were canceled. Workers at Dallas-Fort Worth International Airport spent the day clearing the runways and de-icing planes.
I'm worried about spending the night here. That's why we're trying to find a place to sleep tonight.
Snowplows were out in full force on the streets of South Bend, Indiana, and in communities across a wide swath of the nation's midsection. A multi-vehicle accident involving 3 semis snarled traffic along Interstate 70 in Missouri. Few ventured out as snow fell in downtown Cleveland, and more snow is expected. The storm even spawned a deadly tornado outbreak in Alabama. Back in Dallas, kids made the most of the snow day with a little help from gravity, while one used another force of nature to get around on it. Chris Van Cleve, CBS News, Dallas.
At least they can have some fun, right? The flight cancellations at major airports like Dallas also having a ripple effect for other airports, including XNA and Fort Smith Regional. All the flights that will be departing tomorrow from XNA are already canceled, and 2 flights have already been canceled, both of them from Texas, one headed for Dallas, the other for Houston.
All right, we are on the back side of this major winter storm. Of course, we've been talking about it for the last week and a half or so. Just a few more flurries tonight, and then the sun comes out.
Finally, right?
For the next 7 or 8 days.
Yeah, there's not a lot headed our way. But I have a question. Was this you? We're going to put it up.
What are we looking at?
Is that you in that parking lot?
I see the shirt.
Oh, we were making fun of those earlier.
Somebody's having some fun on a parking lot there in where's that, Bentonville?
Yeah,
somebody's having some fun.
Isn't that fun? You can see the donuts right there. Make sure you stay safe, but you got a big open parking lot. That's just south of the home office, but you know, we're coated in snow in Bentonville, and we've got that mixture of sleet and snow throughout Fort Smith. This is looking down Rogers Avenue. The road still has a little bit of snow and ice on it too, but folks are still cruising down okay. Roadways are still slow. Whenever you bring up any kind of traffic maps, you still see some just kind of orange lines everywhere, just indicating slower traffic. People have to take it easy. And temperatures are cold tonight. We got some refreezing on the roads. Also, we mentioned just a couple minutes ago, you may get your phone buzzing a little extra this evening from the National Weather Service. We've got a mix of still winter storm warnings, winter weather advisories. What the National Weather Service has decided to do, instead of just canceling the warning, they're kind of downgrading it to winter weather advisory. But in order to do that in the systems, you've got to issue the advisory. So if you get more alerts coming tonight, basically what you need to know is that we're downgrading things slowly over time. This storm is winding down. We still have some flurries though, and actually a good burst right now in Sequoia County from Sallisaw westbound of Vian and Webbers Falls. This batch of snow is hitting Lake Tenkiller. It's going to be moving into Adair County here very shortly and eventually into parts of Washington County, Fayetteville, Prairie Grove, Farmington. Snow's probably going to pick up a little bit for us. We've got some flurries in the Eastern River Valley. You head east of Fort Smith from Ozark and Clarksville, Paris and Boonville, getting a couple of those flurries, Greenwood as well. It's just going to be on and off tonight. Not much in terms of accumulation expected. Maybe you could pick up an extra dusting, but that might be about it. Temperatures are cold though. We're cold enough that we don't have to worry about ice or sleet. It's just pure snow, just some snowflakes flying around. Teens in northwest Arkansas and low to mid 20s in the River Valley. But it feels chilly. That north wind is out there. Now, it's not crazy strong, but even a 10-mile-per-hour wind just makes it feel extra cold out there, and it's already chilly. 13 degrees is what it feels like in Fort Smith. Feels like it's only 4 in Bentonville. We're slowly starting that warming trend tomorrow. We're going to get some 30s in here. Also, we're going to get some sunshine. I think the flurries going on right now will probably end by sunrise tomorrow morning. So as you're headed out the door, be on the lookout. There could still be a lot of, snow-covered roads and some slick spots. But eventually, when we get the sun out, you're looking out your window, you're going to see the clouds breaking up a little bit throughout the afternoon. That sun should try to help melt some of the snow. But travel impacts are still likely this evening for much of tomorrow morning. I'll be with Drive 5 tomorrow with meteorologist Tyler Moore tracking the roads and letting you know what you can expect as you head out on your Friday. But I think things are going to start to be a lot better. Improvements coming in for the afternoon. This weekend, if you got to travel regionally, we should start to melt a lot that's on the road. Now, on the grass, that's a different story, but flurries continue tonight, and then they'll wrap up tomorrow. Here's your weekend forecast. Temperatures in the 40s as the sun melts and we get the sunshine, but 10-day forecast, not much in the picture. The only thing coming our way may be a stray shower, not this weekend, but next weekend. I mean, we're talking way far out, but I tell you what, next week, looks so nice. Some low 60s maybe by Friday.
Mother Nature knows she owes us.
Man.
She does. We
After the
deserve
last
this
few
one,
days,
right? Yeah.
All right, Matt, thanks. Coming up, the Arkansas women in College Station tonight looking to get back in the win column against Texas A&M. We'll have highlights next.
But before we head to break, we want to share more photos you sent into 5 News of this snow day across northwest Arkansas and the River Valley. Look at those blue eyes. Even man's best friend getting in on the fun. We got so many pictures of sweet pups. It was hard to pick. How can this not put a smile on your face, right? Enjoy. We'll be right back with more of your 5 News at 10.
Well, what winter tundra covered with snow and ice wouldn't be complete without its own Princess Elsa from Frozen, or how about 3 of them?
It was the perfect day to put on that ice blue gown,
this.
right? Because as Elsa says, the cold never bothered me anyway. I love these photos, and we got 3 of them, and I bet there's more online.
There's even tracks behind her too. Love that. And here's some more amazing photos you've been sending us of the fun you've been having all day long.
Look at
from
that.
Yesterday into today.
You can see how much fun he's having.
Remember when you were a kid, you could do this?
Right? We had snow days. You could get out there. You couldn't even feel the cold. You just enjoyed the fun and then went inside, warmed up with hot chocolate. Oh, so fun.
I wonder if we could go out there and do that now.
You know, our fun here at Channel 5 is trying to get up the hill.
I don't know that I'd be able to get up from the snow if I laid down.
All right, will this snow be around to have this kind of fun tomorrow, Matt?
I think so.
Okay.
I think for the morning, and you'll melt a little bit in the afternoon, but we may even have some for the start of Saturday. If you wait towards Sunday, though, I think we may be done. Temperatures are going to be warming up. The roads will eventually clear off. They'll probably melt first, and then we'll work on the grass. But then not much happening next week. Weather looks great. Lots of sunshine. We're headed back to maybe kind of early spring-like weather, back into the 50s, maybe some 60s next week. Nothing really happening in the 10-day forecast. Maybe a shower next weekend.
Yeah, we're not going to worry about that.
Yeah, looks great.
So
Looks
by next Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, at least in some areas, we could be seeing low to mid 60s after we saw 9 and 10 inches of snowfall.
Complete turnaround. But the next couple nights are going to get cold. I think that's kind of the next thing to watch out for weather-wise. After that, we're clear sailing, I think, for a while.
Any concerns about the morning drive with still some kind of slick conditions?
I think so. I mean, the roads are kind of freezing over a little bit again. I'll be out there with Drive 5 tomorrow. We'll give you the latest updates with 5 News this morning.
Matt's running on about 2 hours of sleep and a lot of caffeine.
I'm sleeping next week.
It's a good thing you're in your 20s for sure on this one. Folks, thanks for joining us. Latest news, weather, and sports. 5 News on. Oh, we got somebody stuck out there on the I-49. Thanks for joining us, folks. We'll see you back here tomorrow night.